Hello friends, my name is Michelle Fondin and I'm the author of How to Run a Successful Yoga Business and Not Go Broke, Lessons from a Yoga Teacher, Entrepreneur, and Modern Hippie. And today we're going to talk about the two biggest mistakes that yoga studios make, and here's why. Of course, I'm an author. I'm marketing my book, How to Run a Successful Yoga Business, and I'm looking at many different yoga studio websites in order to promote my book and to spread the word to yoga teacher training programs. In my book, I write about how to create a really great website and to make sure that your website has SEO optimization and how to make it visible on search engines. However, one thing that I failed to mention was one thing that I personally found out about in the past week. And that number one biggest mistake that you guys are making out there is lack of call to action on every single page on your website. That is super important. It's not worth having a website if you have zero call to action. And I will tell you, 90% of the websites out there for yoga studios have no call to action, or it's very hard to find. It's really deeply embedded into the website. And so I had to stay on many websites for upwards of 10 minutes just to find a contact. So we're talking about phone number, we're talking about email address, any sort of contact information was super hard to find on 90% of the websites that I looked at. Now this seems to be more the rule than the exception to the rule. Now let me just tell you, this is one piece of business advice. Look at fast food restaurants, look at laminate floor companies, look at plumbing companies. All of them have one thing in common, is that they always have a call to action on their websites or on their marketing. And it's super important that if you want the visibility and if you want your client not to click away into another website, it's to have a call to action on every single solitary page of your website. It's super important. So if you go to my website, fondinwellness.com, it's not a super great website. It was a website that was created for me once I closed my yoga studio and I started teaching out of my home. But one thing I learned from the media guy who did my first initial website, and it happened to be a boyfriend at the time, was you have to have a call to action on each and every page of your website. If I'm one of your clients, you have 15 to 30 seconds to impress me. And if you don't impress me, I'm off to the next vendor, I'm off to the next website, I'm off to the next yoga studio. Granted, your clients go to Yelp. Of course, Yelp has your information there. Yelp has your phone number, your website, your email address perhaps, but not all clients are going to go to Yelp or other review websites. What they're going to do is go to your website. And if your website doesn't have a phone number that's super prominent, if it doesn't have an email address that's super prominent, and let me just tell you another piece of advice. A lot of people don't like doing the fill out forms. I know it's good for you because perhaps it'll add that client to a potential email list or email subscriber list. But if you don't have an email address visible on every single page of your website, you are losing clients. And honestly, I learned this really early on, and I will tell you that the number one feedback that I got was like, thank God that you have a phone number on your website. Thank God that you have an email address on your website, because I was not the most popular yoga studio in my area. I was a small yoga studio. I was a boutique style yoga studio. I didn't house a lot of clients in my yoga studio, but I was really smart because I received good advice on the call to action. I had clients calling me and be like, yeah, you know what? I would call this yoga studio and they didn't pick up. And that's my second point to the biggest mistake, is not calling back clients right away when they call, or if you have a voicemail, not calling them back within a couple of hours, or at the very most up to 24 hours after they call you. You have to jump on those clients. And even if you're lucrative, even if you're a really popular yoga studio, those clients are precious gold. Like, you don't know what those clients are going to bring you. Perhaps other clients, maybe somewhere down the road, they're going to invest in other services, such as a yoga teacher training program. So you have no idea. As I mentioned, my yoga studio was not the most popular. However, one thing I did do correctly was that I had a call to action, and as soon as clients called me, I would call them immediately back. If not right away, within 2 hours. If not within 2 hours, if it was late at night, I would call them immediately the next morning. And I got a lot of feedback from those same clients that said, I called popular yoga studio down the street and I never got a call back. Thanks to that yoga studio down the street, I got the client and not them. If you want to keep clients coming to you, call to action, respond quickly. So those are really the two major things. And unless if you're a celebrity, and that's the impression that I got was a celebrity website. On a lot of websites, you know, I do a lot of media searches because I'm an author and I'm always looking for publicity and getting radio interviews, TV interviews, interviews with magazines, and media websites are quite hard to navigate. It's difficult on media websites really to find a contact person, and usually they do that for a purpose. They do it because there are certain people that you need to contact, such as a producer of a show, and they really don't want that producer to be inundated with like 5 million requests per day. And so they do keep that information hidden. However, you are a yoga studio, you are a business, you are not a celebrity, and you want people to find you, and you want people to find you quickly and have that call to action super quick, because you know that if you want a service, if you want a product, you want it now. You don't want to wait. You don't want to navigate a site and muddle through all this information and really look through these embedded web pages in order to find a contact. That's totally ridiculous. So if you want to be well ahead of 90% of the yoga studios out there, put a call to action on every single page. So what does that mean? What is a call to action? A call to action is a button that will take clients directly to booking your classes and services directly, meaning that you have a little button on every single solitary page that will lead your clients to book something with you. That's number one. Number two, a phone number on each and every page of your website, every page, prominent, up top, so that they can see the phone number right away. The third thing is an email address. A lot of people, they browse websites at work and they can't just pick up the phone and call at work, so they'd rather email. Have an email address on every single solitary page of your website. It does not suffice to have it on the contact us page, because a lot of yoga studios, what I saw is they'll have the contact us and immediately it'll go to a fill out form. Well, me personally, I don't like doing fill out forms, because oftentimes those fill out forms have presets, and the presets might be, I am interested in yoga. I am interested in Ayurveda. I am interested in meditation. And if I'm not interested in any of those things and I just want, for example, a tour of the studio, then I'm not going to click on any of those things, because it makes me super confused. It makes me frustrated. I'm just going to leave your website. So do you understand how the usability of your website is really super important? And then follow up with new clients. You know, as soon as a client contacts you via email, Twitter, Facebook, anything, reaches out to you, that person reached out to you and chose you over all the other yoga studios in the area. And that's the best form of flattery, is really they reached out to you among all of the rest. So you owe it to that person, you owe it to that client to give them the respect of responding really quickly. What is it that you need? What is it that you desire? What services are you interested in? You don't even have to make it long and drawn out. You immediately email back. What services are you interested in? I saw you signed up on my website. What services are you interested in? How can I help you? So that's my bit of advice. Check out the book, How to Run a Successful Yoga Business and Not Go Broke. And this book is not unique to yoga studios. It's also for anyone that's an independent yoga teacher trying to make a living teaching yoga, or maybe just doing it on the side and trying to gain supplemental income. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. If you love my videos, you can support me on Patreon, www.patreon.com/Michelle S. Fondin. Subscribe and I'll see you in the next video.